What is up? Good morning. This is another episode of, my autobiography. So, let's get started. Like I said, it's good morning, and it's a cold morning here in Las Vegas, and I had an alright sleep. Could have been better. And right now I'm looking forward to eating some breakfast with my dad. We usually have breakfast every Sunday together. We meet up at our favorite, special restaurant, which is really cool. And so what typically happens is me and him, we meet up, catch up, and then I think the cool thing is that we talk a lot about like where things are heading, and we're always looking in the future and stuff like that. And he always mentors me and tries to show me and teach me how to make good decisions versus bad decisions. And so it's definitely nice, to have that support and to have that guidance. I think that a lot of times people don't have that, which is unfortunate, to not have good people in your life that are going to help you and support you on your way. I just happen to be really lucky because my dad is an accountant, and he's got a master's in business administration. So, and that's something he's always wanted to do. But I think it's really cool to have him in my life. I know today isn't Father's Day or anything like that, but I'm always grateful. I'm always grateful to have my dad. I kind of had an interesting childhood. One that consisted of, I wouldn't say that I got in trouble a lot, but I definitely, I hung out a lot, and I was always out and about, hanging out and just having fun with my friends. I guess you could say I was kind of mischievous. And then as I got older, I just didn't really do the same things that I once did because of the fact that I was trying to stay out of trouble, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to get in trouble. So it was nice to get older and get out of the house and start living on my own. I remember when I first turned 18, that was an interesting time in my life because I was no longer considered in society, in American society, I was no longer considered a kid anymore. I was an adult. And so I was held to a different standard according to the law. But it's not like the law that I want to talk about. It's how I felt when I was 18. When I was 18, like the day that I turned 18, my whole life I don't think it was a drastic change. I, however, think that my life was the start of something big. I realized that I needed to do something or make a move. And so, I don't know, just like a lot of stress of living on my own and just like going to school and making a living and stuff like that, like what normally happens when you turn 18. Well, that was kind of stressing me out and stuff like that. So I did what most people would do. I went to school, or I went to college, and while I was in college, I got even more stressed out because I wasn't making money and I didn't have like the type of guidance that I needed. Yeah, my dad was there for me, but I don't think I was like mentally there. As far as I knew that I wanted to do music. Like, music was my thing. Like, I could do that forever. But I think the mindset that I had then wasn't where it needed to be to survive and live on your own and stuff like that. So I ultimately joined the Marine Corps, and I think like a lot of people do, the Marine Corps straightens people out, and it did for me. And then I didn't realize how beneficial the Marines was for me until I got out. And when I got out, that's when I noticed like they're paying for my school. They did a lot for me, and they still are. So now they're making it to where life is pretty comfortable, in a way of saying thank you for your service. So I'm really blessed. Like I'm really thankful to have them taking good care of me. Granted, I did earn it. Being for 4 years in the Marines, it was an interesting experience. Maybe for another video. I don't feel like I'm quite ready to talk about all of like what happened, nor should I disclose anything. But it just, the Marines was what I needed. Like as soon as I turned 18, my whole world kind of changed, and I felt obligated to grow up and make the change in my life. And it did create a lot of stress for me. And so but I think like one thing for certain is I always did my music. Music was always it was always a form of self-expression. I'm still trying to wake up. Yeah, music has always been like a form of self-expression. There are times when I didn't necessarily do it for the money. I still don't 100% do it for the money. I do it because I like it. And so having said that, back in the day, I used to sit in my room and bust out the laptop, and then inside the laptop I was mixing and matching, downloading, installing different software, all to figure out where I was going with this music. I really enjoyed enjoy making music. I just saw like a form of self-expression. I saw a form of self-expression there that I couldn't find anywhere else at the time. I was able to take a song and turn it into a piece of work that could be played over and over again. And so that's kind of where I was with that. I just finished like a relationship with one of my ex-girlfriend, and it really helped me get through that, and it still is helping me get through that. It was a hard relationship to to recover from, but I will. And some of those songs I listen to, and they take me back to when we were dating and stuff like that, and that's craziness in itself. Sometimes I wish I could go back and just be with her again, but it's not always the case. You never know what's gonna happen. Maybe there would be a lot of really big changes in order for us to be back together again. Like, she would have to, I don't know if she's married or anything like that, but it would have to be like big things like divorces and stuff like that, or it just like it would have to be, or and her parents don't even like me. Who couldn't like a guy like this? And so, not to say that it wouldn't work, it's just, it was nice. It was nice while it lasted, and sometimes you just gotta move on, smile and move on, and just know that in your heart, you guys had a good run. I had a good run. She'll always be the love of my life. And I think it's pretty obvious now who it is. Especially the people that I went to high school with, they know who I'm talking about. And so she's somewhere, in my heart, she's really special to me. I'm just so thankful that she was in my life, and that she still is in my life, just in a different way. It feels different, because although we're not together, we're still friends, and we communicate very briefly. We hardly ever do talk, but I notice that when we're in person, I still see her occasionally, and when I do see her, it's like the world stops. It's crazy. It definitely feels like the world just stops. So it's something that gives me chills. You ever thought about that when you see someone that you haven't seen in a while, that basically your love of your life, you see them, and no matter what you were thinking about, your world just stops. Everything revolves around that person. And that's not honeymoon thinking or anything like that. That's pure love. The fact that you've been with each other for so long and it didn't work out, and you see them and it takes your breath away. That to me is pretty cool. It's a pretty good feeling. So I always keep my fingers crossed, and I'm always hoping that it's gonna work out. I hope things work out with her and her boyfriend. I'm not the type to be I don't want to have hate in my heart. I don't want to get jealous or anything like that. I genuinely wish I was with her, but at the same time, I do want her to be happy. Want her to be happy. And if that